Welcome to another unbagging or unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. I'm Grant. Today I'm looking at Folio Series number 10 from One Small Step Games, designed by Brian Train, one of my favorite designers. I have about 8 of his games now. Really have enjoyed all of them. He has a penchant for doing games on counterinsurgency. In fact, his most recent co-designed game is Knights of Fire, which deals with the end of the Battle for Budapest in 1956 between the Soviets and the Hungarian revolutionaries. So it actually is on Kickstarter. I think it funded within the first 24 hours. So Brian knows counterinsurgency. He knows how to design a war game. This is one that I have played one time. I have a friend who has this. Really enjoyed it, wanted to get my own copy, so I went ahead and bought it from One Small Step Games. I think this was $25, and it actually came very quickly. This is one of 2 games in that Folio series that Brian has designed based on the Vietnam War. This game is based on Ben Dinh. It's called Ben Dinh, Vietnam 1969. But the other game that he did is called Green Beret, and I think it is an adjacent province in the country of Vietnam that he designed that game on as well. So anyway, here's a look at this. This came in a small bag, plastic bag, but it's actually a really neat presentation. I have thrown the bags away in my I have 2 others one other of these, and they are just like folders. They're literally just like folders we used to have at school. And they fit really nicely in my storage solution for these folio bag games. But here's a look at the back cover. Once again, Ben Dinh. And you can see there, it's a simpler game than Green Beret Folio number 2 on insurgency. And it was actually designed for a university history course on 20th century violence. Uses a topic-specific system that I think is pretty cool as well. Bucket of dice. You're going to roll a bunch of dice when you do combat. And it has a 17 by 22 map and 140 double-sided counters. That's pretty standard for their folio games. Suitable for solitaire is high. It is designed for 2 players. Takes 2 to 4 hours to play and has just above low complexity as far as the game goes. So let's go ahead and open that up. We'll check out the rule book first. They do offer a couple of bags for the counters. I will clip these and put those in those bags and store them that way. Very simple rule book. This rule book looks like it is 8 pages. Very thin paper, not glossy at all. Pretty simple. There's a lot of dense text in there. Here it goes over the counters. You're going to see the different types of counters. You're going to have insurgents, as well as the government forces, including the U.S. and the ARVN, Airborne Brigade, 173rd Airborne Brigade. Directions on setup. So actually, when you look at the rules are only about 3 pages. So when it says low complexity, that's what it meant. This is a very easy to pick up game that plays, it takes a while because there's a lot of different things you have to do. They do have some good examples. They do not have pictures of those examples. That's something I don't like. But they do have some text examples of play. Here are some special rules that they're optional, I believe. And then this says historical setup. So it's going to tell you where to put your units based on the historical situation in 1969. So yeah, pretty simple. The rules are pretty simple and straightforward. I do like that picture there on the cover. You have an ARVN commander doing some training for other ARVN soldiers or Magyars, most likely. So pretty interesting. Love the tiger stripe camo that they've got there. Here are some. They're not player aids, but they are items that you're going to use. Here's the random events table as you're going to roll for these. Victory point table, you're going to know what's going to gain you victory points. And on the back, there is an expanded sequence of play so that you can have that near you so you can understand how the game works. This chart is used for the tracking of victory points. You're going to keep your available units and disrupted units there, and that is single-sided, pretty simple. We're going to look at the counters last. I'm going to go ahead and open up the maps. And actually, my other game that I own, Kandahar, has a very similar style map. These maps are very simple and straightforward, but I actually like the look of them. And they are very functional, I'm going to say. Sorry, I'm moving the... Yeah, very, very functional. This map is not going to win any art contest, but I think it's very functional and nice looking. You can see very clear lines between the different provinces. Different information that is required to play the game. And then up on the right side, up here, let me move up just a little bit. You can see the operations chart, which tells you what you can do: evade, attack, search, move. It tells you what numbers of dice to roll and then how to do those. And then you also have your victory point table here, once again, as a reminder how you score victory points. So that's a look at the map. Once again, I think it's very functional. I think it's gonna play very well. And once again, I played this quite a while ago, and I enjoyed it. I liked that it was simple. Here's a look at the counters. These are administrative counters there on the bottom. Your VP markers, dead unit markers, different disruptions. There are, as there are in any good Vietnam game, dummy markers that are going to be hidden. And then you have your unit markers. You have your communist Viet Cong units there. And then on the top, you have your government units. So they're double-sided counters only on the administrative side. So those units are only single-sided counters. You can see there's a bunch of different administrative tokens and counters. These skull and crossbones, I think I mentioned their death. I meant terror markers. There's options for terror. You can see there's a monsoon marker. So, yeah, there's a look at the counters. Once again, pretty standard game. It's a folio game. This game cost, once again, $25. It's a nice game, and I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy any games that have counterinsurgency because the rules are asymmetrical, right? Each of the different factions are going to work differently. The government units are not going to act or activate similarly to the guerrilla units, the Viet Cong. There's some different victory conditions, some different ways to get victory points, and pretty interesting little game. I don't remember it taking us more than 2 hours to play, but I don't know. I may just be remembering it incorrectly. It's been a while. So there you have it. Ben Dinh, 1969 from One Small Step Games. This is folio game number 10, designed by Brian Train. If you enjoyed the video, please leave some comments and like it. If you enjoy our channel, please subscribe and let us know what we can do to improve our videos. A lot of people want them to be shorter. Frankly, if you don't want to listen, you can fast forward. That's fine. I like to talk about the game and the history as well. One of the wars that I've enjoyed learning about is the Vietnam War, and that's why I like playing these games. So anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Grant from theplayersaid.com. We'll check you out on the next video. Thank you.